Hello. Thanks for joining me again for Take 10 with Proverbs. So today we're looking at the 6th chapter, and it's a real lengthy chapter, so we're probably going to break this down into a couple of videos. It's titled, starting out, Warning Against Folly. So there's about 5 verses we'll share, give some insight, and then move on. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands in a pledge for a stranger, if you have been trapped by what you say and snared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle, the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. In short, this is one of those teachings that is teaching against putting up security, co-signing for a loan, for a car, for a credit card, whatever the case may be. There's some places in the world that may not necessarily be a good example for, but here in the U.S. it certainly works. We're sold the American dream is to have everything that your neighbor has and then to outdo him. And the society makes you think that that will make you happy, when really, in fact, it doesn't. Because what happens is if you try to help somebody get ahead and you do it the wrong way, or if you yourself try to get ahead and you have somebody help you that's maybe not really in a good spot, then it usually makes both parties feel really bad when things go south and somebody can't make that payment or uphold that end of the bargain. And so this is a warning against going into partnership to help somebody get credit to be able to do something, or making a pledge to somebody to fulfill something that you can't do, or maybe chose that you didn't want to do. After you felt the pressure was so great, you succumbed to it, and then now that pressure isn't so great, you're thinking, boy, why did I say that? Why did I agree to that? So it's warning to be very cautious and careful with what your words are, and what you're willing to do and what you shouldn't do. Let's go on to the next, looks like probably 6 verses. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores up provisions in the summer and it gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. This is, again, just 6 quick verses letting us know, reminding us, instructing us that the lazy person never, ever will have anything. And they will always be in lack. They'll always be in need or want. Now, I just shared with you how we can go in the other direction way too far, where we could want everything, and that's not good either. It's balance. Our Christian walk, our faith, our belief, our actions is all about the proper balance. But I remember being at a seminar once, and this gentleman, very, very wealthy gentleman, had shared with us that he had a conversation with another person, and that person said, well, when did you realize you were successful? When did you realize that you was rich? And he said, I really didn't until I just woke up and found myself there. And really what that's saying is, we often don't realize the state of our being. Could be financially, could be relationally. I mean, this could apply in so many different ways. We don't realize the state of our being until it's there in our face, and we wake up and it's like, oh man, I've arrived, which we've never really arrived. Or you could say, oh man, I'm at the lowest of lows. How did I get here? You know, they say that a lot of homeless people never set out to be homeless. And I believe that's true. They found themselves there by a series of decisions, some of which was their own, some of which wasn't their own, perhaps. But they woke up one morning and realized that they was homeless, and then they had a decision to make: to either pick themselves back up and move on, or to stay there and feel defeated and beat up. So I would encourage you to pick yourself up if you happen to be in that spot where you're feeling defeated, discouraged, where you come to that point of, wow, how did I end up here, and not liking where you're at. Even a lot of people that have a lot of money sometimes have that epiphany. They'll wow, I mean, yeah, I like the money, but I don't like the person that I became to getting that money. So at the end of the day, be diligent, always be working, always be attempting to better yourself, but keep balanced. Too much of a good thing is still too much, and not enough of a good thing is still in lack. So be diligent, be working. Don't just be busybody. Be busy, but be productive. Oh, let's see here. 12 through, looks like 19. A troublemaker and a villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks maliciously with his eyes, signals with his feet, the motion of his fingers, who plots evil and deceit in his heart. He always stirs up conflict, therefore disaster will overtake him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. So, again, this is just a real good reminder that when you are trying to be deceptive, when you are trying to push things, when you're trying to do something that is not right, correct in the sight of God, you're going to find yourself in a bad way, and it's never going to be well for you. Again, your integrity, your character is really, at the end of the day, what's going to matter to the people around you, the people that know you. And if you want to have great influence, if you want to have a good rapport with your neighbors, with your family, with people in your connectional circles, whether it's at work or whatever social settings, deal honestly, even when it hurts. I'm self-employed, and there's been a few times that I have put a bid on a job, and I've gotten the job, and at the end of the job I look back and it's like, wow, I really didn't make any money on that. And I know of a lot of contractors that will try to, I'm going to say, throw in some fictitious billing and say, well, we had to do this and that, and so that wasn't part of the original deal. I make a contract. I believe your word is your word is your word, but I make a contract in the fact that I make a detailed list of what work's going to be done, how much it's going to cost, and at the end of the day, the price is the price. Now, if I miss something in there, I'm not going to try to wiggle out of it. If I missed it and it should have been done, then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it for the price that I gave that person. And at the end of the day, although I maybe didn't make the profits that I should have, I did better. I made a long-term investment, because that person is going to appreciate the fact that I stuck to my word, that I wasn't deceitful, that I wasn't trying to be malicious or get one up on them. So again, those are just things that a lot of people don't always realize. Your integrity, your character, your honesty is so important if you want to go anywhere in life, and to have value to your life, value within your relationships. So this next little chunk of verses is called the 7 deadly sins, if you will. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, and a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in a community. Almost every one of those is self-explanatory. I'm not even sure I need to give much perspective on them. But at the end of the day, it just really is bringing home what I said. Walk with integrity. Walk with character. Don't be quick to be pressured into agreeing with something. If you have that sense of a Holy Spirit in you that's telling you, back away, slow down, not yet, then follow that leading. The Holy Spirit is sent to be our paraclete, our helper. And if we would follow the leading of the Holy Spirit using discernment, then life will go well for us. So there's, it looks like we got verses 20 through 35. So there's like another 15 verses. And, it's funny because there's a lot. These next 15 verses that are going to be in the next teaching, I'm going to have to do a little bit more homework because there's a lot of teaching against adultery, which really makes me wonder about how much adultery was taking place back in the days of Solomon, because there certainly seems to be a lot of teachings in the book of Proverbs about it. So we're going to leave that for the next lesson. So we're leaving off on the 19th verse of the 6th chapter. And in the next video, we'll pick up and finish up this 6th chapter. So thank you for taking the time to tune in to Take 10 with Proverbs. And I hope that you is blessed. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Get this out there to those that you know that could benefit or add value to their life. God bless.